Hello everybody, welcome back to Pokemon Violet. Last time we went to school, and this time we're going to some more school. So we have 2 more classes to get through, and we'll knock those out today. Let's just get going with art. Mr. Hassel, I know that guy. Those are lovely pictures. Greetings, I'm Hassel. I'll be teaching this art class. It is a pleasure to meet you all. Now, let me be candid for one moment. I imagine that many of you will forget all you learned in this class once you graduate. After all, you don't even need a basic understanding of artwork, much less a refined appreciation of beauty for most exams or jobs. So is my class a waste of time for you then? I think not. At least I certainly hope it isn't. Think for a moment, all of you. What is beauty anyway? What makes something beautiful? This one. To be kind of snarky about it. Interesting. Thank you, Kit. This tiny little chair for these grown people. Oh, that's so sad. Look at them. Oh no. Oh, I don't mean to suggest that there's a correct answer to my query. The important thing is that you all take the time to think about it. Think about why we might find beauty in a flower blooming on the side of the road, for example. Question why the sky is a different shade of blue than the ocean, or why the leaves change color. Ponder the windmills of Artisan and how they move. Contemplate the chilling bite of the waters of Cascarapa. I'm sure you'll find that every little detail of your lives will seem more vivid, more impactful if you just take a moment to stop and think. I am certain that if you stop and truly appreciate the little beauties of this world, it'll help you pull through the days where your studies have you exhausted when your work has dampened your spirits. Do pardon me for waxing philosophical. You don't need to understand all of that now. To put it simply, it is true that one doesn't need art to survive, but it certainly makes surviving much more enjoyable. It's my hope that this class will add even a little bit of color to your lives. That's all for today. Next time we'll try a more hands-on approach to appreciating beauty. It's like color or something. Let's go find out. Art class part 2. Hello class, it is I, Hassel, yet again. In our previous class, we discussed what beauty is, which might have been a little boring for you. So today I thought we'd mix things up a little to pique your interest in art. Allow me to introduce our special guest. Gibble. This is Professor Gibble, the assistant lecturer for today. Now then, Professor Gibble, if you'd be so kind as to terrestrialize for us. Blam! As some of you may already know, a Pokemon can terrestrialize if you use a Terror Orb. Normally, Professor Gibble will be of the Dragon type. By terrestrializing, it succeeded in changing its type. So class, what type do these lovely glistening flowers above Professor Gibble's head represent? Fire. It's grass. Excellent, Kit. Full marks for you. These beautiful flowers blooming above Professor Gibble's head show that it is now become a grass type. The shape of the Terra Jewel above a Pokemon's head depends on the Pokemon's Terra type. To summarize, if an opponent's Pokemon terrestrializes during battle, observe a Pokemon's Terra Jewel closely to see which type it has become, and choose effective moves accordingly. It's my sincere hope that today's lecture will help you all achieve beautiful victories. The terrestrial phenomena is indeed a fascinating and deep subject to discuss. That's it for today, class. Thank you, Professor Gibble, for your help. Glamgib. This has nothing to do with absolutely anything. I guess it kind of does. In the first class, he was talking about beauty. I was gonna make it like a Brakeson joke, like, go get yourself a Brakeson. That's all the beauty you need in the world, or whatever. Then I realized Brakeson's purple, and we're playing Violet, which has the purple theme. But like, if it was Scarlet, Brakeson could be orange and also match that theme. Oh, I just thought of that while I was talking instead of actually paying attention to what I was saying. Anyway, back to art class. Hello class, it is I, Hassel, yet again. I've been told that my previous lecture about the Trasto phenomenon was very well received. Thank you all for your kind words. In fact, Ms. Dendra specifically requested that I impart even more battle knowledge to my students. So I have decided that today we'll take another look at how Pokemon can terrestrialize. Gibble! And of course, here's Professor Gibble to help us. Now then, Professor Gibble, if you'd be so kind as to terrestrialize for us. Blam! How'd he do that? Now, what do we have here? Last class we saw grass-type terrestrializing, but this time we have something of a different shape. Observe, a Terrajewel resembling a snowflake. Its dendritic shape is stunning to behold. It's a little chilly standing so close to it. So class, what Terra type do you imagine this jewel might represent? Ice. Excellent, Kit. Full marks for you. The reason there's a snowflake shining above Professor Gibble's head is simple. It is now an ice type. And because Professor Gibble is currently the ice type moves would not be very effective against it. Keep in mind, usually they would deal quadruple damage to Gibble. Now, here's some trivia about snowflakes. While snowflakes come in many different shapes and sizes, most are classified as hexagons. Just think of it. Snowflakes fall from the sky, taking similar shapes without anyone saying they must. Do you not feel the great mystery of nature, the beautiful enigma we live in? This is a bit of a tangent, but Mr. Jacques' glasses are also hexagonal, aren't they? I almost forgot to mention that you can change the Pokemon's Terra type at the Treasure Eatery located in Medley. But I must say the cook there is a little prickly. You'll need to get on her good side if you want her help. Now, come prepared for the next class, because it's time for your midterm examination. Thank you for today, Professor Gibble. Glamgib. I'm not exactly sure how to change Terra types. It's something to do with like those shards we've been picking up. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, it's time for the art midterm. Hopefully we don't have to draw anything, because we haven't been taught how to draw. I do hope you are ready, because it's time for your midterm exam. Focus and do your best. And begin. That's the Terrajewel. The answer to question 1 is in the shape of flowers. What type does it represent? Grass. What shape are most snowflakes classified as? Hexagon. Where is the eatery that allows you to change Terra type? Medley. What makes something beautiful? There's no correct answer. Time's up. That's it for today's test. Pencils down, please. I'd rather not have students worry about passing or failing in my art class, but tests are tests after all. Anyway, good work everyone. You can check your results at the front desk. Let's take a look. Did you do it? 5 out of 5, oh my god. I'm such a good art person. I can art. Just kidding, no I can't. I can barely write. Video editing is my art. And even that I'm just kind of okay at. I shouldn't sell myself short like that. Hello class, it is I, Hassel, yet again. I'm pleased to say that everybody did very well in the midterm exams. As a reward for all of your hard work, we have a special guest visiting us today. Now then, Bracy, please come in. Is it a Brakeson? Oh. No, it's a man. Greetings. I don't remember his voice. I am Brassius. I am an artist, and I focus exclusively on grass-type Pokémon for my work. Brassius here mainly creates three-dimensional pieces, such as statues and the like. One of his major works is the installation titled Surrendering Sunflora, found in Artisan. Many of you have challenged your Artisan gym and no doubt familiar with these sculptures. Yes, I do recognize some faces among your students. I hope you all understand how fortunate you are to be able to attend Hass's classes. Old Hass is the man who saved me when I had lost all hope and given up on myself. But he never gave up on me. I do not exaggerate when I say that he is my mentor in life. It is precisely thanks to Hass that I was able to establish my current art style. Ah, dear Brassy. I have nothing against reminiscing about old times, but today, I hope you will guide this class in a way only you can. Of course. Let's see. Why don't we discuss what Hass has mentioned, surrendering Sunflora. Can anyone here tell what my mood was when I crafted its detached expression? Detached, surrendering, sad? No. Completely and utterly wrong. When I made that sculpture, I had surrendered all hope. I was prepared to give up everything. That sounds sad to me. I resolved to give up my life as an artist if that piece did not receive proper recognition. Hence the name Surrendering Sunflora. That's exactly it, Hass. When I started out as an artist, I experienced many hardships. I even became deathly ill and fell into a slump that drove me into desperation. I began worrying only about what would sell. I was concerned only with fame and fortune. But all of my pieces during this time had no depth. They were all shallow trash. It was then that I met Hass. He helped me realize how petty I was being. I'll spare you the details, but at the end I was able to leave all that behind. And that is also when I crafted the Sunflora. Remarkable. Even I did not know the full story until now. This kind of thing is hard to tell someone, especially when they are so close to you. Now, I don't doubt that you adolescents will often find your heads crowded with worries. My advice to you is simple. Be honest with yourself, and do whatever your heart desires. As long as you don't cause trouble, that is. That is all from me. I must admit I'm beginning to feel a bit embarrassed, so I bid you farewell, Hass. And farewell to your pupils as well. Oh, Brassy. I can't believe it. Such a wonderful class. Thank you so much! Hassel's a character. I like him. I don't know what that taught us, besides follow your dreams, but, you know, I guess that's important too. Hello class, it is I, Hassel, yet again. First, allow me to apologize for losing my composure during our last class. I was so touched by Brassius' story that I simply couldn't contain my emotions. I'm sorry for making such a scene. I certainly got a very stern talking to from his time after that class, yes. Anyway, let us shift gears and dive into the material for today's class. Now, have any of you heard of the 10 sites of Paldea? As the name would imply, there are 10 sites in Paldea that are considered particularly beautiful. Among them, I would say that the Grand Olive Orchard is likely the most accessible. You can see field after field of olive trees from the hill on the way to Cortando. 2 waterfalls are also counted among these 10 sites, Fury Falls and Casaroya Falls. Then there's the peak of Glacedio Mountain, known as Paldea's highest peak. There's another cliff on Glacedio the mountain, is named after its rather unique shape. So, let me ask you, my students. What is the name of the three-pronged cliffs and the mountain? No need to grasp at straws. He said grasp. It's probably grasp. Exactly. Looks like a hand taking hold of something, doesn't it, Kit? The three-pronged cliff on the mountain is in fact known as the mountain's grasp. Though its shape is far too stubby to be that of a human hand. Imagine someone thought it looked like a Pokémon hand grabbing something. There's also the mountains in Area 3 of the East Province, where you can get a good look at Levincia. It's particularly gorgeous at night. In fact, the view is so brilliant it's known as the Million-Volt Skyline. I hear it's quite a hotspot for dates, and deservedly so for having such a romantic view. I imagine it's, what do the kids say these days, a very fleek selfie spot? I know two of those words. Of course, you may feel that not all 10 sites live up to their grandiose names. How often do we visit some tourist spot only to be disappointed? Not to say you shouldn't visit them, only that you should keep your hopes in check. The important thing is to go yourself and see them with your own two eyes. Sometimes, a disappointing experience can be worthwhile in its own way. Take a chance. Well, that's it for today, class. Thank you for your attention. That's gonna be on the exam, isn't it? One more? One more. Hello class, it is I, Hassel, yet again. My, how time flies, as they say. These two synchronized men in the background are really distracting. They're also writing without any pencils. Anyway, indeed, our time together has certainly flown by. It's hard to believe that this is our last class. Now, our topics for today may feel somewhat unrelated to art. But there's absolutely no set definition as to what art should be. Therefore, let us carry on with the discussion and see where it takes us. There are two things I wish to focus on today: ribbons and marks. Both ribbons and marks are special honors that capture a Pokemon's qualities. There will be times when your Pokemon gives maximum effort or has a noteworthy experience. In recognition of its feats and accomplishments, it can be given a ribbon. To give an example, if you manage to become incredibly close to a Pokemon, you may be granted the Best Friends ribbon. Incidentally, there's a person in Cascarapa who can give you Pokemon a Best Friends ribbon. Oh, okay. Marks, on the other hand, are mostly found on the wild Pokemon when you meet them for the first time. They can symbolize the character of a Pokemon, such as with the Rowdy mark or the Vigor mark. It's completely up to luck whether you run into Pokemon with these marks. So if you're able to catch a Pokemon with a mark, rejoice at your outstanding fortune. Does anyone know what special thing you can do with Pokemon that have ribbons or marks? I think you can change their title. Your knowledge is impressive. The correct answer is that a Pokemon with ribbons or marks can be given titles. What's more, they can be sent into battle displaying a title of your choosing. For example, you can send out a Gibble with the Best Friends ribbon by declaring, "Go, Gibble the Great Friend!" And while I know I just said that marks are generally found already on Pokemon when you meet them for the first time, it seems that more recently, Pokemon can be awarded certain marks based on their efforts. These are marks such as the Gourmand mark, the Item Finder mark, the Partner mark, and so on. Perhaps it might be fun to try and work out how to get each mark using its name as a clue. Well, that just about wraps up our last class. Next is the final exam. Use to review our material closely so you pass on your first try. Forgot about those. Do we have any ribbons? Do we have like champion ribbons or anything? Take a look. We do have champion ribbons. Firefox, the Paldea champion. It's a bit of a mouthful to put on everybody, though. Just the champions, yeah. Alright. Anyway, final exam time. But you hope you are ready, because it's time for your final exam. Focus and do your best. And begin. Treasure Eatery. Surrendering Sunflora. How many waterfalls are counted? I think you only said 2. Where can you find the million-volt skyline that's Levincia? The marks Pokemon has are present when you first meet and none can be added later. False. Thank you all so much for learning about art with me. The time we shared is left a mark that I treasure. I will treasure, I promise you. It's my sincere wish that all of you go on to even greater, more prosperous futures. And that's that. Good work, everyone. You can receive your results from the front desk. How'd I do? 5 out of 5. Heck yeah. Alright. Our last class is Home Ec. Mr. Saguaro. Oh, it's gonna be cooking, isn't it? Here's how to make sandwiches. And picnics and stuff, that's what this is. I see we have some energetic young ones in our class this time around. You may call me Mr. Saguaro. Your time here with me will be spent obtaining knowledge and skills indispensable for daily life. Many of you have left the care of your parents to live here on your own in the Academy dormitory. I pray that the knowledge I impart to you will improve the quality of your lives and the necessities thereof: food, clothing, and shelter. Of these 3 categories, I assume the most pressing and interesting for you all is food. When you eat sandwiches on your picnics, the HP of your party Pokemon will be restored. You also gain something called meal powers, which can provide all manner of benefits. For example, these powers can make Pokemon easier to catch, or increase the XP points that your Pokemon receive. I think you also find that the breadth of these effects can be expanded by crafting sandwiches of superb flavor. What's more, there is a certain something that's particularly important if we wish to receive meal powers with even more helpful effects. Let's see. Master Kit. Tell me, what must you keep in mind to receive even more helpful meal powers? This one? Okay. Perhaps you're already aware of this fact from having helped your family with cooking at home. Your choice of ingredients, including both fillings and condiments, is an important factor in gaining even more helpful meal powers. For example, using sweet ingredients in your sandwiches may help you gain egg power. Including numerous bitter ingredients, on the other hand, can gain you item drop power. Learning to aim for specific effects when crafting sandwiches will most certainly make your culinary endeavors more enjoyable. Please be aware, however, that you can also receive meal powers by eating at restaurants. I must say that I would feel the utmost joy if you all learned much here in my class and came to better understand home economics. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. I'm doing this right off the last episode and my voice is starting to give out. So forgive me. Yeah, let's go to Home Ec 2 now. Try to just run through this before I just lose my voice entirely. I do not care about sandwiches. Put away your phones. It's time to begin class. In our last class, I believe we talked about the effects you can get from food on your picnics. You can receive meal powers and even restore HP for all the Pokemon in your party. It is truly a convenient means of healing your Pokemon. Unfortunately, as I'm sure you're aware, it is not suited for use in battles, when you cannot make food, or when you cannot make food, or when you wish to restore HP quickly. In times such as those, you should make use of healing items, such as potions, which you can purchase in Pokemarts or the school store. Healing items are immediately effective and can be used any time that you open your bag. They are, however, consumed after one use. Potions restore 20 HP, Super Potions restore 60, and Hyper Potions restore 120. The pricier the item, the more HP it will restore. Keep in mind how much money you have when you are stocking up on these items. However, unforeseen happenings are an inextricable part of traveling from place to place. Imagine, if you will, the following scenario. You find yourself with injured Pokemon, but you have no potions, you are out of sandwich ingredients, and there are no Pokemon centers nearby. Tell me, Master Kit, What should you search for when in a perilous situation with no way to heal your Pokémon? Items on the ground. Perfectly correct, Master Kit. I see you are well learned in survival techniques. If you see something shiny on the ground, it is actually an item that has been dropped there. You may be able to find a restorative item, such as an Oran Berry or a potion in this way. There's litter everywhere, just pick it up, please. You can use the R button to send out your Pokemon to pick up such items as well. And then there are berries, of course. Berries, by the way, aren't like items from shops. If you let your Pokemon hold one, it will decide on its own when to eat the berry during battle. Letting a Pokemon decide this timing for itself can be quite interesting. At any rate, if you find yourself in need of healing, I suggest that you look around for shining items on the ground. If you can't find such items, there are other methods you may employ for healing your... I see the bell demands that topic wait. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. And back into it. Let's go. Teach me how to heal my Pokemon more, please. In my last class, I taught about HP restoration. However, after class, I was asked by several of you about power points, more commonly known as PP. When a Pokemon loses all of its HP and faints, it can no longer battle. What then happens to a Pokemon when it loses all of its PP? Can't use moves. Perfectly correct, Master Kit. Perhaps you know this from first-hand experience. When a Pokemon runs out of PP, it can no longer use its moves. However, each move has its own store of PP, so you can mitigate PP loss by using a variety of moves, rather than just one move repeatedly. If a Pokemon loses all PP for all of its moves, it will only be able to use Struggle, an action that also damages the Pokemon that uses it. In order to avoid this predicament, PP can be restored at Pokemon Centers along with HP. Items such as Ethers and Max Ethers can also be used to restore PP, but be careful not to confuse potions with Ethers in the heat of battle. However, Ethers are not sold at shops, so you should use them judiciously if you find them. The stronger the move, the lower its maximum PP. Do not waste the uses of these moves unless you wish to quickly run out of PP. It is important to find balance in a Pokemon's set of moves. As you can see, HP isn't the only thing you must keep an eye on while adventuring with Pokemon. Hope that you all take care to ensure that your partner Pokemon can perform at their best as you engage in the treasure hunt. Time together has come to the end for today. Our next meeting will be an examination day. Be sure to review well in preparation. Alright, let's take that test. What have we learned? Meal powers, HP, and PP. Gotcha. Time has come to test how well you have all learned here in my class. Let's begin for the information simmering in your brains. What? Let's begin. Oh, I would B4 is 4. Let's begin before the information simmering in your brains from a last-minute cram session fades. Which is not an effect of a picnic meal. Increasing speed. Which of the following effects kinds of meal powers? Fillings and condiments. Use berries for HP. Orin. Leandro wanted to use this Pokemon to decide on its own. Decide on its own when he uses item in battle, so he gave an Oran Bear. This will work as he hopes, yes. The moon runs out of PP, can no longer be used. Runs out of all its moves, can only sit there in frustration. No. Time for answering questions has come to an end. Please stop writing. I hope you're all able to give the examination everything you had. And then go get him at the front desk. Did I do it? Heck yeah. Give me those candies. Alright, last little stretch here. And we're free. Put away your phones, yep. Though some of you had to retake the midterm exam multiple times, I'm glad to say that the majority of the class passed without issue. I feel honored to see that the knowledge and skills indispensable for daily life has taken root in all of you. I trust that you will all work just as hard in your life skills in the second half of our course as well. Let's now turn our attention to the topic of the day, which was inspired by a question I received on the subject of meal powers. The student who asked this question is a young man who enjoys the culinary arts. He tells me that he regularly researches culinary techniques on his own and pays careful attention to the ingredients he uses. He also spends day and night studying all aspects of the culinary arts. Yet despite this, he's baffled by his inability to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers. So tell me, Master Kit, since you did quite well in your midterm exam, what should this young man do to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers? I don't know. This one, maybe? Okay. To increase the effectiveness of meal powers, your sandwiches must be filled with many different ingredients. For a single person, this may prove difficult, but if you prepare a sandwich with others, you'll be able to handle a larger serving of bread. With a larger base to start with, it becomes quite simple to add more ingredients to your sandwich, which in turn makes it possible to receive meal powers of increased effectiveness. It applies more broadly as well. When dealing with a difficult issue, working with others to solve the issue may be the best course of action. I'm sure that Arvin will likewise work with friends to craft his sandwiches in the future. I always flub the funny lines. The identity of the male student is a matter of privacy, so I would ask that you do not pry too deeply. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. Alright, 2 more. While you're out performing field work with one of your Pokemon walking alongside you, have you ever noticed it changes in its coloration? What? Now, I don't mean that suddenly becomes shiny Pokemon or any nonsense like that. I'm speaking of it becoming filthy. Pokemon Battle. Oh, Pokemon Battle. They get hurt by moves used against them. They get battered by wind and rain. They get covered in sand and mud. They get, in a word, filthy. I've seen many a trainer walking about with their adorable little Pokemon without addressing the issue. It is deplorable. Let me ask this a question of someone who I'm sure would not tolerate such shameful conduct. Ah yes, Master Kit. What should you do if your Pokemon is dirty? Pat it on the head. And clean it up. Give them a bath. Perfectly correct. Anyone can count on you to provide me with such an answer. When your Pokemon are dirty, clean them. This is, of course, simply common sense. While you are having a picnic, you can approach the Pokemon on your team and perform a variety of actions. One such action is putting them through what I like to call the Pokemon wash. In other words, you're able to clean them up. You start by getting your sponge lathered up with soapy bubbles as you gently and carefully scrub your Pokemon. Once your Pokemon is nice and covered in soapy bubbles, the bubbles will encapsulate the filth, and then you simply wash it away with a spray of water. Just get your Pokemon clean and shining bright as a Terrajewel. It is certainly quite a bit of work. This will also restore HP and cure status conditions. However, some Pokemon may have parts of their bodies that they don't want scrubbed, or that they would rather not get wet. Be sure to keep this in mind when cleaning your Pokemon. Now, the most important point that some Pokemon like to be dirty. Though I will not contradict myself by saying this, please do remember that cleaning your Pokemon is not always the kind thing to do. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. Let me just give my Grimer a shower. Is Grimer even in this game? I feel like it's not. Last class and then their last final. The final. And we begin our last class together. Home economics is the study of life's necessities. Looking back at our time together, Realized that I focused almost entirely on food. I hope it's not too late to shift to a discussion of clothing, another necessity in our last class. As I'm sure you are aware, our academy has an air of freedom about it. We provide uniforms for each season to accommodate the diverse climate of Paldea. However, students are free to wear whichever style they wish whenever they please. You should have all received 4 sets of tops and bottoms, one for spring, summer, fall, and winter, when the academy accepted you. If by chance you are not aware of this, you may wish to peruse your wardrobe. As long as you wear a school uniform, the rest of your ensemble need not be school-issued. This includes your bag or your hat if you choose to wear one. You're even free to style your hair however you wish. Mr. Salvatore's hairstyle, for example, would almost certainly have been against school rules when I was a boy. What's wrong with it? He just has a cut through it. Whatever. Oh, that reminds me. There's one more thing one more thing you all like to decorate, which I must say I find quite charming. Our dorm rooms? No, I knew it was the phone, I was just being funny. Speak of something smaller and far more adorable. More importantly, how you decorate the interior of your dorm rooms is none of my business. I must admit that I'm fascinated by Rotom phones and how to customize them. What's that? How very intriguing. So there's a shop called Delibird Presents where you can purchase cases for your Rotom phones. I thank you for that useful bit of information. I shall have to go myself first thing tomorrow to get an adorable case of my own liking. Forgive me, I seem to have gotten a little carried away with this small talk. Ahem. As this class known as Home Economics nears its end, I offer these final words to you who have been honing everyday life skills with me. My field of study is not so decisive as the likes of mathematics, for instance, where test scores might play a part in deciding your future. However, as you're going to cook for yourselves, to take care of your Pokémon, decide what to wear in the morning when you awaken. I'd be honored if what I have taught you serves to smoothen out and enrich your lives, even if only a little. The sentiment was imparted to me by Mr. Hassel and his particular outlook on such matters. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for seeing this class through to the end. Our time together has come to a close for today. Prepare to do your best on our final exam. Alright, here we go. I would like the final exam, home ec with Mr. Saguaro. The time has come to test how well you have all learned in my class. Yep. Did the last time. You never brought that up, my man. I assume it's sparkling power, though. As long as it's not an effective egg power. Helps out strong Pokemon? Simply yet important tactic for increasing the effectiveness of meal powers, making with others. Pokemon Dash reference. Wow. Pokemon Wash, though. This question about Academy rules. Should you change your uniform tops and bottoms to properly match each season? It doesn't matter. Please stop writing. I made the questions a little easier than I planned to. It's a way of saying thank you for informing me about Rotom phone cases. I trust that you all give this exam everything you had, so you do not have to retake it. Please remember to ask for your scores, and that's it. How do we do? 5 out of 5. Let's go. You now finished all of your classes and passed all of their exams. I have this for you from Director Clavel. Cool. I guess we've never had one before. Now you can focus all of your efforts on this year's treasure hunt. Be careful out there. Oh, I don't want to revisit a class. Alright, that's it. That's all the school we need to do. Why are you reading a culture? Creepy guy. Okay, these people are in my way. Can I wait so I can end the episode? There we go. Aha. The window that goes outside, like where we're going next time. Heck of a segue. I'm tired. Anyway, yep, so that's it for school. And next time we'll explore around a bit more. See what we can find. Maybe follow a certain legend that we heard tell of last time. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you then.